Hey up guys, so this video I tried to do like a year ago and a lot has changed in My Hero Academia since then, but I'm just going to give it a go anyway. So if you don't know what My Hero Academia is, I'm just going to do the basic summary because this is basically, really, if you're watching this without knowing what's going on in the story, major spoilers, not going to make a lot of sense to you. So, in the world of My Hero Academia, most of the population has superpowers, or as it's known, quirks, and our protagonist, Izuku Midoriya or Deku, has no powers, but through plot gets them. Again, this is very basic summary because anyway, on to the main video because yeah, it's about him becoming a superhero essentially. In a lot of shonen stories, the protagonist can be written in a way where they are, for lack of a better word, too forgiving for their own good, to an unbearable amount where it feels like the character is being written to be like, look how good my hero is because they can forgive this evil person despite all the things they did. And it doesn't come off as good, it just comes off as detrimental to the character and makes them look stupid and naive. And there's a lot of examples of this, trust me. Main one for me is Naruto and Obito. I love that series, but also not, well, I don't know. Like, I do and I don't, because that's a whole mixed bag. But one of the things that still makes me mad is the fact that Naruto was like, oh, that man's amazing. And it's like, no, you're doing, this is exactly where it goes wrong for me. This idea of Naruto forgiving Obito in this way is just, it makes Naruto look stupid. It doesn't make him look good. It just makes him look naive and stupid to do that. And again, there's a whole other kettle of fish. And you see this a lot with shonen heroes, and I like shonen heroes for their positivity and their forgiveness to a degree, but there are ways to do it and there are ways to not do it. And you see this somewhat with Izuku / Deku, but what I like about the way it's worked with Deku is it's worked as what I call, and a lot of people call, a fatal flaw. Kohei Horikoshi, the author of My Hero Academia, is known for being a fan of US comics, and this is shown through many things within the manga, and just one example being how one of the vestiges looks like Hellboy. That's just one because there's a lot of examples, but I don't have time for that. This was a common thing associated with Stan Lee and his reinvention of Marvel characters in his comics in the 60s, when he basically revitalized the entire brand of Marvel, because it used to be a different thing. Again, a lot too much to go through there, but one of the things he did was that the weakness of his characters was not a physical trait like older heroes such as Superman being weak to kryptonite or Green Lantern being weak to wood. Yes, that really was the original thing. Golden Age comics were a fucking trip. Like this, and trust me, you don't want to Google that. But instead it was a personality trait that would act as a detriment to them, such as Tony Stark and the way he is. Oh god, that's a terrible one. Actually no, a better one is Reed Richards' arrogance. He is a great man, but he is also a very arrogant man, and that is a detriment to him and to the people around him. And to me at least, Deku is written in this same way, that it's acknowledged that it's not a good thing for him, that he has this desire to save everyone. Not that that is a bad thing, it's just the level to which it is a thing in Deku is detrimental to him, that it's a detractor, it does him more damage than good. This is mostly seen in the chapters of the arc we just had before this current one, where Deku has went out of his way to act as a hero to the point where he pushed All Might away because he's so concerned with the fact that the world needs a hero, and he cannot stop that when there are those that need him, his own health doesn't matter, his own welfare can take a backseat because there are others who need his help, and that is more important. It's also a way of signifying just how far gone Deku truly is, that he would push away the one he idolized his entire life because of said flaw. Because again, wanting to save people isn't a problem, it's just when his value of other people overrides his own self-value, it's just bad for him. And that's something you see in a lot of heroes, but again, in Deku, this is the point, that it's it's a way of signifying how far Deku has gone at this point, that he would push away the one he idolized his entire life. Deku wasn't power hungry, he had got so powerful he genuinely thought he could do it himself, which enabled his worst impulses and led him down a path of isolation and cut himself off from everyone he cared about, and went beyond rational thought. It's kind of the mistake All Might made as well, because he tried to be this paragon, this paragon, this hero, and that just caused this fallout and power vacuum that we saw in the arcs following Camino Ward, of villains taking more chances and the world kind of being lost, and that this is something Deku needs to avoid. I can't remember where it was in the manga, I'll find it probably, but there was that quote of, "This man is possessed by a drive to save others that eclipses all common understanding." And in a way, that is one of the defining traits of Deku, and that's what you love about him, but it's also that thing of, again, just what is the problem, because Deku has spent so long being powerless, because literally powerless in this world, and wanting to be a hero even without his powers, and now had the chance to be the hero he always wanted to be. But he obviously went from nothing to 100% to the most extreme, and that is the problem for him, because now, again, like I said, he's not power hungry, but in a way it's power hungry, but not in a evil, I become consumed with power, but in a way a hero does, a flipped version of that, if you will. And so, like I said, I tried to do this video nearly a year ago, and obviously a lot has changed since then. So the main thing is the fact that what is Deku going to do in terms of this in terms of this trait in the final battle related to this, because, like I said, he wants to save everyone. Like many others, I don't think Shigaraki can be redeemed at this point. He is way too far gone. He has killed a lot of people. The very important point is, I don't think he wants to be redeemed. But Deku will try. It's in his nature. He even says so at the end of the Paramount War arc, or whatever we're calling it, that even after everything that had happened, a part of him still felt the need to try and save Tomura. But like I said, I genuinely don't think Tomura will be saved. I think to a degree that's a point of Shigi, like, how far can you go and be redeemed? And maybe the point is that that's not a metric that you can just measure. It's up to people, and people have different levels where they can forgive people. I feel like I'd be interested if this would happen, but I don't think it's going to. But I feel like one of the ways you could try and save Tomura is Eri's quirk is somehow involved, that allows Tomura to be reversed to a child state, kind of like, well, spoilers for One Piece, the opposite of what happened with Momo, and say he's in a child form with his memories intact, maybe, or without, and again, he's given the chance to start over as a child, to start again. Maybe it'd be better if he had his memories taken out and he had someone like Deku around him to help him become a better person. But I like the idea, I just don't see it, because I don't think the world of My Hero Academia will forgive Shigi. That no one would let this happen. Like, if Deku tried to save Tomura, I don't think maybe it would be a thing where Shiggy pulls a last minute, kills himself to kill All for One, and last minute quote unquote redemption, but I don't think that's going to happen. I could see it being like Deku trying to reach out to Tomura and someone else literally stabbing him in the back. Maybe Hawks, because that's kind of what Hawks has done a lot. And I can't say I blame him. I could see that happening and it be this moment where Deku has mixed feelings of kind of knowing this had to happen, but also feeling like he failed and feeling like, is this the point of heroes? We're meant to save people. And that being the problem for Deku. But it's hard to tell. Like, it's just, there's a million ways this could go with this ending. And I'm just going to ride it out and see how it goes, I think. But I hope my point got across here. That my point is, this is coming from the point of view of someone who, before manga, was into comics, and this was something I knew, and this was part of why I got into My Hero Academia, but also one of the things I noticed as a reader coming from a comic book background and how I interpreted the story and what I like about Deku as a character, because like I said, it's reinventing this trope. It's taking this trope that can feel very meh and working in a way that for me feels fresh and new and interesting. So yeah, if that somehow interested you or got you in, you agree or disagree, I'm happy to hear it. This is definitely a bit of a ramble, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, I guess, and see you next week, hopefully, maybe.